Hey, welcome back to Sun Beer. Excited to have my Yoshan Roaster, and it just occurred to me that I've not been updating people on where I'm at in this journey so far. So today, thought I'd just do kind of a simple roast along. The first things that I had to deal with was the power on mine. When I was first roasting a couple of the roasts, I realized that I didn't have enough to process the mixing part of this, which would turn on the fan in the back, and then all of a sudden my power would just go away. Which is really bad if you're doing like 4 pounds of beans at one time. So had to figure that out pretty quick, realized it was the actual power in this back shack thing that I roast in. And so I quickly just started using something I had is this was not engaging, basically. The way that I fixed that was I connected my generator. It has plenty of power, and we were good to go after that. Since then, I've been roasting. I've probably done somewhere between 15 to 20 roasts already. It's going well. I'm really happy with the consistency that I'm seeing with my Yoshan. Today, I'm going to let you watch a couple roasts maybe and see how. Okay, it is gas. So I'm going to connect my propane. This is just standard stuff I got from Home Depot. It's nothing fancy. The one thing I will say is this connection here I had to do an adapter for because it comes powered or it comes with different pipes basically than what we use in America. LP is what this is set for, and this is obviously not just LP, this is propane. So I have that set. I'm going to go ahead and turn my gas on. So I'm going to go to open, everything is connected, and we'll see that I got pressure there. And I have all right, next step is let this thing start warming on. I've already powered it on, but I'll show you. This is how you power it on. It's got all of the gauges working. I will go ahead and connect my computer so you can see what it does with Artisan as well. This is how you do the heating. So I'm going to show you real quick how we get this going. I'll let you look on the inside real quick. This is what we look like on the inside. Mine's a little dirty. I got to clean it out in there. I need an air blower, but that's what it looks like on the inside. So when I press this with it closed and all that, this is going to light up. I go over here, I turn this up for more, for it to have gas, and then we're ignited. Okay, now I'll show you. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this in a counterclockwise fashion. That is my KPA. I'm going to hit heating, and you'll see that when I do that, that jumps up, and then in here I should see flames. Yeah, we got flames. And if your fan is on, which mine was, you'll notice that it doesn't catch on. Turn your fan off and they'll all catch on. While this is heating, I'm going to go ahead and connect my computer and get my Artisan work. And I'll just come up to roast properties, and then I change this to Ethiopian. Okay, I'm down here. So let's talk about this for a second. My standard weight that I have been using, this is what I figured out to be about 80%, is 57 ounces basically. Because this is a 2 kilo roaster, it's capable of doing 2 kilograms, right? Which is a good amount of coffee, but I don't want to max it out. So I've been using 57 ounces, and that's been going pretty good. It's balanced. As you can see, I'm rising in temperature right now. Just realized I didn't have that closed off. If you have timing selected, you can use this timer up here. Of course, if you're using your Artisan, it kind of counteracts that, or you don't really need them both at the exact same time. I think there's a way you can manually make them connected. I haven't done that yet. So I just kind of use it separately and hit start. I have mine set for about 15 minutes because that's basically around the time frame that I'm going to be done. Okay, I've got my Ethiopian coffee, and I'm going to drop that in. And now we wait to dry. So your hot air adjusting, if you turn it up, you'll see this kind of kick on up here. I'll I'll show you what it looks like off. So that's basically off. And if you kick it on, you'll see that once it's hotter, you'll actually see the smoke coming out of there. But right now, if you feel up here, it's hot air coming out of there. So you see my KPA is a little bit past 1. I could go higher with that if I really want to gain a little more momentum as we're getting into this. And I'm going to drop when we get to 400 basically. Another thing, I have this thing set to basically pop up when there's a charge or anything like that, an event. And so I've noticed that it just kind of does it on its own anytime there's any drastic change in this information here. So a lot of times I wait to start it until we're getting closer to where I want to drop. I've increased my KPA a little bit closer to 2, and my temperature's rising. I do have my fan up quite a bit as well. Okay, and we're getting there, nearing the area of my internal stuff being around the right temperature. I'm going to still try and get it a little bit closer to 400 altogether. Yeah, so there you hear, if that happens, you just kick off your gas and you can let it breathe a little bit and it'll cool it back down to the temp. I just have mine set at the place where it goes off at 400 to tell me. And I'm going to drop my beans as well. Close the hatch and we're rolling. See, my beans are in there. I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to start my timer here. Okay, we're just a couple minutes in right now, and looking at my beans, not really fully dry yet. We're getting there though. Typically start to notice dryness around 300, 305, somewhere in that area. Okay, starting to look a little more dry now. I think we're ready. So I will go ahead and mark dry end. See some of the smoke from my fan. I really have a good rate of rise going right now. If I wanted to increase it more, I could, but I'm looking good on time and everything right now. This is probably going to end up being about a 12-minute batch, and then about a couple minutes to cool. Over here, and let's see what our beans are doing. Yeah, we're getting some caramelization for sure. I love this one. This coffee is so fantastic. It's a hit, and I can't. I've still got my KPs at about almost 2. Adjust my air a little bit. See it blowing smoke out. Give a little shot there every once in a while. Okay, as we're starting to get up here to, this area is where you can start to expect to start maybe hearing an outlier. Okay, just heard my first outlier, and I'm going to go ahead and mark first crack because it's starting to roll a little bit. First crack is definitely happening. Check, looking nice and even. Got a good roll on those. And I'm going to go ahead and drop. Turn my mixing on, verify that my tray is cooling, turn cooling on, and we're off. There's still some roasting that happens in the cooling tray. If you don't believe me, try not using the cooling tray and see what happens. Turn my temperature off over here, and now we can just let this cool. Beautiful cinnamon roast kind of coffee.